Good afternoon, everyone. It is Mitchell, aka The Walker in Orlando, and welcome back to Universal Studios Florida. Came on over today because all of you know Horror Nights has officially started here. It started September 1st, runs all the way through November 4th. What I'm going to do today is show you guys what does Halloween Horror Nights look like on normal operating days. So Monday and Tuesdays, Horror Nights does not take place, which is kind of bummed because Monday and Tuesdays are the days off I have. But what are you guys going to expect to see when you come to Universal on a normal day here at Universal Studios? What props are you going to see? What's going to be out? Can you see much of anything? We're going to check that out today. So make sure you guys do hang out with me as I do go around checking all of that out. So one of the things that is kind of nice is that on a normal day, a normal operating day where there's no Horror Nights going on like at night or Horror Nights in general, you kind of get a better view of the posters for essentially are the intellectual property stuff. So you do have Universal Monsters Unmasks, you have Chucky, The Last of Us, but with the PlayStation. You do have the giant medallion every year for it. You have The Exorcist Believer, and the biggest thing, Stranger Things. So you can be able to get good pictures of those posters if you would like. Just because at night, there'll be a lot of people out here. It's gonna be dark. There's gonna be different spotting lights. Also ignore the fact that I said spotting lights and not spotlights. So we're just gonna ignore that for now. And everything else. When you first do enter the park, they do pretty much start off with the very first scare zone. And I do have an ultimate guide to Halloween Horror Nights 2023 or Halloween Horror Nights 32. But the coolest thing is that they have brought back the neon sign. So at night, this thing really does glow. You also have all of this. That's because for the opening ceremonies, that's where Dr. Oddfellow comes to bring you into his world. Another thing you are going to see throughout the areas are places like next to Main and Mayhem. You see that little area? That is actually a wait time sign slash guide on to tell you what house is right there. So essentially like so you have the, I don't know what you call it, like screen, like the title of the house. So like here, this one is the Blood Moon house. Thought it was gonna be the Yeti campgrounds, but we'll see all those throughout as we keep walking around. So here you have Dr. Oddfellow's, essentially his stage. He will be out here talking to the guests, talking to those just like him, looking for the ultimate goal of ultimate life unending. And so he comes out here for that, but you can take pictures in front of this, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of like that whole, like, if you don't know what to expect or you are going to be coming for the first time, coming into the park, you kind of see where things are going to be before you actually get to come. And that's kind of what I want to show you guys with this. Another thing also is you will see a lot of props out and about. So essentially a lot of what this is, these are going to be places where the scare actors who roam the scare zones will be hiding. So it gives you an idea of what to expect. Just be aware that there's a lot more fog. Well, what is kind of funny is, so like in my ultimate video, my ultimate HHN guide, when I first came, this had a sign on there and it was for the Dark Zodiac, because this is the Dark Zodiac scare zone. And so if you are going to be coming for the first time, this is kind of nice to see all the stuff in the daylight. You kind of see the details of everything, because when you are in the scare zone, it is dark, it's loud, there's spotlights, there's flashing lights, everything else. Some stuff does get moved out, so you don't see everything, but like big stands like this here for the Dark Zodiac will be here, so you kind of see that there'll be something going on here. It's actually a little stage where the scare actor actually comes out and essentially is like dunking a head, I think, back and forth. So my goal with this video is just to give you an idea of what to expect when you come to the parks during the day, but also it gives you an idea of like you can come to the park before you go to Halloween Horror Nights if you're still undecided or you will be coming but you don't know what to expect. This is a great way of seeing everything before the actual night, so you kind of know what to expect. Like I said though, not everything will be out. I know there's a big stage here in the middle of this area that's not out, but it gets kind of an idea to see everything, see some of the props, you can see some of the, you can see some of the props, you get to see some of the details they have. Plus, if you're like a veteran like I am, you know where the fog machines are gonna be. Right here, this may look like just a normal stand, but this is actually where a fog machine is, purely because you can see that vent right there. So be aware that if you're close to a fog machine, scare actors like to hide in those a little bit more and freak you out. So another thing is, you will see some of these stands right here that do sell a lot of the Halloween Horror Night merch. Expect there will be no tribute store we will not go through the tribute store on this video. I have a whole other video that's just tribute store, but you can actually check out some of the merchandise. You can actually see it, all the different things they got, like pins, buttons, keychains. They even got a cool, actually I might want that actually. That's actually a shirt I think I'm gonna want this year. But you can pick those up here, and they usually at all the little stands have those around. So you can still buy Halloween Horror Night merch, even if it's not going on or it's taking a day off like it is tonight. So now we're going to the Jungle of Doom, and I think actually all these scare zones relate back to Dr. Oddfellow, which is the guy essentially who is the reason behind Horror Nights this year. He is the icon of the park. So like you had Jack the Clown, sometimes Chucky, Chance a few years ago. That's what you have here, but like here you've got a lot more things out than normal. Like you actually and I know there's a stage that they put up somewhere where actually Dr. Oddfellow is in. So he's in almost every scare zone. But this is nice because it's right outside where the central production area is, where actually, fun fact, if they are running anything, you can actually go in there, preview something, and you can actually get paid to do it. Now, it's like a Universal gift card, but some people said they do it enough that they actually pay for tickets, they pay for passes, and they pay for stays. Also, can we just talk about bats? Freaking bats. So the other thing is, like I said, every scare zone has a backstory to it. And I did go over all that in the Ultimate Horror Night Guide, which I hope if you haven't, you will go check it out, because I actually did I spent a lot of time looking at research, looking at everything, just so you guys can have the most up-to-date information. So you guys can have all the information you need if you're gonna be coming to Horror Nights this year. Another thing that's also nice is that if you come up to, so say you're essentially checking out Horror Nights before the event and everything, and you're trying to figure out like what you might be interested in. If you are a foodie and you love food at the theme parks, it's a great time to come and check out all of the booths, because there are no lines, they're not busy, and it gives you an idea of what they might have. So like here you've got the proclamation of offerings located at Expo Circle. You can see they got their different food options, their specialty drinks, which a lot of alcohol, and then regular drinks. So if you're interested, that is things you can go and look at, because there is a booth for Surfer Boy Pizza, which I don't think is out, but we'll check it out if it is. But those things you do also come to expect if you'll be at Universal during the day before Horror Nights, or the day of Horror Nights, or the day of Horror Nights is not happening. Also, just check out that the Coke store right here is completely wrapped in like bats, cats, but look at the cats. They are like with Coke bottles, little atoms, like little pumpkins and stuff. That's really cool. The other nice thing is, because Horror Nights has officially started, they do release the map for Halloween Horror Nights, so you can see where all the houses are. And so like right behind me, this is the Last of Us house, which is kind of funny because this one's one of the ones that has like a sign on it that tells you exactly what it is. But I think if I remember correctly, right here is like the Darkest Soul, which is like a blues house with jazz and killer saxophonists and stuff like that. So it kind of gives you an idea where, if you're looking for the houses that you want to go to, coming during the day gives you an idea where they're at, what you want to do, and it gives you kind of a game plan of what your plan is. And plus, you kind of, with how busy it does get during Horror Night, especially walking around, it's good to know where these houses are, so it is good to kind of scout it. I will tell you what is so cool is they have all the Stranger Things stuff. Oh, it looks like they have D&D set. So cool. I'm a big fan of the fact they got all the Stranger Things out. But yeah, again, you can buy merchandise. You can look at the merchandise beforehand. So if you want to, like, say if you want to buy a shirt before you go, like you want to buy the house shirt, you can buy it before you actually come to the park or come to the Horror Nights, so you're in theme with everyone else. I will tell you, if you're looking for what has been widely considered probably the best house, Dr. Oddfellow's is going to be right here. But they do offer a stage show during Halloween Horror Nights called Nightmare Fuel, and this year it's called Nightmare Fuel Revenge Dream. This is the third iteration of this show, And then apparently this year, there's more fire. So it's got music, it's got it's got fire, it's got dancing. But what is nice is that if you come during the day, a lot of stuff you can see online, but it's kind of cool to see it in person. You can see when the show times are. So you have 8 p.m., 9:30, 11, and 12:30. So there are 4 different shows. I'll tell you the first and usually the second show are the busiest of them all. If you're looking to see it and not have as many people around you, just go right there. And then you do have some of the bars are out. So they always have the Halloween Horror Nights drink cups, but they also do always have Blinky drinks. And you can see what kind of drinks they may have. So if you are interested in finding one, you can actually go along to all the bars and kind of pick and choose what you might want, how much it's going to be, so you kind of know if you need to like get a gift card or what you're going to expect to probably spend. So if you're like some people who like to drink, and that's not me, you're going to probably spend $100 a night at a Horror Nights. So going in here, we're going to be going into Diagon Alley. And what's really cool now this year is that they have included the Death Eaters into Diagon Alley, and apparently it's like double the amount they have in Hogsmeade. And apparently my mom has actually been to Horror Nights already one night, and she says at some point they kind of just get into like a group and march throughout Diagon Alley. And so they do come onto the stage over here. There are areas where like they have interacting points with fog and everything else. So you'll see random like, essentially you'll have random like decorations that look out of place, and it gives you an idea where they may interact, where they're going to stand, where they're going to do things. But also be wary, they do go into Nocturne Alley, and already terrifying down there, and just makes it even worse during Horror Nights, which is something I have said for years they needed to do, and I'm glad they finally got around to it. Something they didn't have the last time I was here when I did the big guide video. There's apparently a Peacock Halloween Horror Nights bar. So you can actually go down here and there's like an actually specialty bar for Peacock, and it gives you like things that are coming, like Five Nights at Freddy's, Chucky, and all that stuff all down here. So it kind of gives you an idea of what to expect, because when it's at night and it's late, it's dark, it's kind of hard to see all this stuff, and especially coming in here to where Shipyard 32 is. I personally think that this scare zone is always one of the hardest to get through, because it's got the least amount of walking space, and with the amount of stuff going on, people stopping, people taking photos, videos, aka things I do, it causes it to be it gets a little congested through here. So be mindful of that. So if you kind of miss out on things, you can actually see it during the day like this, where you can see all the decorations, the props, but again, you can see where the scare actors will probably be hiding to try and scare you. So another cool thing is that with Halloween Horror Nights, if you have a valid day ticket and you have your Horror Night ticket, so like I have my annual pass, Kayla has her annual pass, we both just bought the Frequent Fear pass to come to Horror Nights pretty much every day except for Fridays and Saturdays, which is fine with us. We don't want to go on Fridays and Saturday nights. The thing that they have that's actually really beneficial of trying to get things done is Stay and Scream. Now you do miss out on the opening scaremonies with Dr. Oddfellow. However though, what's pretty cool is that you pretty much almost have a direct line to houses. It's like last year, we did it where we went to the back corner houses, and we did 4 houses in the span of like 30 minutes, got a return time for a 5th house, and did a 6th house. So in a span of like an hour, we got 6 houses done. It was the most we've ever done in a single night, because normally since we get the Frequent Fear passes, we try to come frequently to get all the houses done. So kind of a fun thing to do if you're interested in that. You can also buy Stay and Scream individually, but if you already have a day ticket or pass, you can just come into the park, and they essentially just round you up into an area, and you get to hang out until Horror Nights starts for the evening. And then again, like I said, you got Chucky's Killer Treats. Here you can see what they've got. They've got the fried till the end chicken, Chucky's Pop Dead popcorn, flamin' hot Cheetos flavored popcorn. Okay, I may have to try that. And then your specialty alcoholic adult beverages, and then your sodas and drinks. A really cool thing they're also doing this year is that if you buy a Frequent Fear pass, and I think it's for each Frequent Fear pass you buy, is that you get 6 months free, and I say free because you paid for it with your Frequent Fear pass. You get 6 months of Peacock included. And so that's a really nice benefit to have. That's why they got a lot of Peacock stuff. It's essentially a universal streaming service, but ran by Peacock and NBC. So if you are going to be getting that, be aware they will be sending you a code to be able to access all of that. Another thing also is that if you are buying a frequent fair pass this year, they are going to require you to give a date that you will start using it. So even though I have said we haven't gone to Horror Nights, we really haven't, because we did come last night to activate our frequent fear pass. So we literally did a scare zone, the tribute store, and that was it, because we had something else come up once we got here and we could not stay, unfortunately. So we will be coming back another day, but I will tell you that is something you gotta be mindful of. But if you do buy a one-night ticket and you do want to upgrade to the frequent fear pass, make sure that you do it the day of your pass or before the ticket goes into effect. And all you have to do, pay the difference. So kind of nice to have. It's just something nice to do, especially if, I don't think you could do Horror Nights in one single night without Express Pass, and it is still very expensive, and Express Pass does sell out very quickly for Horror Nights. What I do love is they do keep this bus out here, so the Music Fest bus, but this bus out here, but they do have two other cars, a couple of different stages that they have, but then you got the big sound stage down here. And so far the thought is that this is the best scare zone, so something we will have to check out when we do come to Halloween Horror Nights, like fully, like where we go to a couple houses, do all the scare zones, try to do Nightmare Fuel. So those will end up start happening on Sunday nights for us, not till, I want to say the 17th is when we'll probably come the first time. So another thing, I'm not going to go down there, but over by where the stage is the line for The Exorcist. Now, they are going to have bike racks and everything up, so that area normally where people would sit on the grass, hang out, fortunately you cannot do right now. So, but again, gives you an idea. If you come during the day, you can actually check out where all the houses are. So, like here, this is Stranger Things. This is going to be where Stranger Things house is. You got two other houses back here. This is where Dueling Dragons is, Choose Thy Fate, which goes back on to when they had Dueling Dragons at Islands. And this is where Yeti Campground Kills is. So it gives you an idea where all of your houses are for Horror Nights. So it gives you an idea what you want to plan, how you're going to do it, what's your go-to. So that's why it's really good maybe to come during the day and check it out if you can, if you have a pass, or if you have a multi-day ticket you're using. The thing is, the tribute store is open all day long. So it is open even on a non-Horror Night day, on a day that's not being ran by Horror Nights. Probably Rocket goes by me. So if you want to check out the tribute store, you can go in there, check out the cool thing that's gonna be there. Like I said, I'm not gonna show you guys that because I have a whole separate video just on the tribute store for you guys to check out. So we're gonna be going in there after I'm done with this video. So something to keep an eye on. Either I've already released it or it'll be coming after this video to know what to expect and things to see, because I feel like the tribute store has evolved drastically since they started doing it. So, but that's what you kind of come to expect if you're gonna come to Universal Studios during the day, while Horror Nights is happening from now until November 4th. So kind of a thing, if you need to know, get a plan, or just want to see what everything looks like before you go, it's a great time to do it, because you can really get yourself a plan, really see what you're going to be doing, what you want to do, and all the different scare zones and what to expect. So, but with all that being said, as I do head off to go do our tribute store, I will see y'all next time.